ain't getting paid with you, know my color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support ride. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. Ready. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. And watch your lane.
And whoa, he's going to hope that that is not a sign of things to come. A rude welcoming to this ball game. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Ready. Mike, 26, Mike. Pick it up, pick it up. Pick it up. Come on. 26, Mike. 26, Mike. Shut up.
They go play action now. Jackson being chased out left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
26, Mike. 26, Mike. Let's go deep. Tighten up. Let's go.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Going deep for Diggs. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Hey, Sam! Blue 18! Three!
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half, maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. On 3rd down, Mariota. And Ingram holds it in. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 16.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mariota. Johnson's got it complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And Rosas puts this one through. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. From the gun, Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Now a handoff here to his running back, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm coming for you. You are the moment.
Play action. Now Jackson. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Check. Fresno.
On third down, Jackson. And he's able to find Diggs. But he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal.
Leads to second and goal at the 2-yard line.
They'll come out in the pistol. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Check out Reed.
They'll try to run this one in. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that is going to set up third and goal.
Check, 59. Hey, pick your game up. Shoot up.
He can run for it, and he will. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up fourth. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on fourth?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh, yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On second and 12, Mariota got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. The first down carry here for Johnson. Obi Melifonwu with the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Running from the gun, Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another first and 10.
Ready, Charlie?
Here's Mariota. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. On 2nd down, Johnson. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me. Fight six. Fight six.
From the gun, Mariota. And he fires one, but incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 4-yard line.
Set, ready. 70 ending.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Henry. Set 59.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Steps away to his left. This one complete to Coleman. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
To throw on 3rd down, Jackson. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24, and he'll score. Touchdown, Browns.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Looking to throw on second down. Mariota, screenplay, Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Ty Johnson, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead is now 17-3. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little.
That's caught at the 25. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 52 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Jackson. This is Coleman with a grab. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Corey Coleman. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are back within a single score. Tucker with the extra point, and that slices the lead down to 17-10. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 25-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Working out of the gun, Mariota. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line.
At their own 13-yard line.
The The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
He'll pitch it. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. Jackson. He'll buy some time right. He may try and run for this. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Dancing to his left. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's sacked by Tremaine Edmonds.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. Check, check. Motion to backfield. Motion to backfield.
On 2nd down now. It's Johnson. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And he is finally brought down at the Ravens' 25-yard line. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Now Johnson. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Where are they, team? Strip the ball. Strip that ball. 3.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They give to Johnson going right. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then at the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And nothing but daylight ahead. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one, that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll lead here to a third down. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Check three.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to air one out for Anderson. He's got it at the 15. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Robbie Anderson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
We got this.
The Browns drive about to get started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
That one goes for 24 yards. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Mariota. He finds his man Johnson. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. Mariota now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Watch the safety creep.
Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Ty Johnson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. As they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now.
Mike spot 9, Mike spot 9. You got nothing.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Flushed out right. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And that is no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. What a tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range, gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again?
Yeah, because on the other side, run through the post, and this thing could be over. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, he can have one go in the wrong direction. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. They'll run on first down. It's Johnson. The tackle credited to Deshaun Elliott, the safety. Here's Mariota. Finds his tight end Ingram. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And the question now, can they get closer on third down? A field goal from here, you're looking at right about a 52-yarder. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field.
And the Browns first down.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Let's go, team.
They'll run it with Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And right now it all rests on the right foot of Aldrick Rosas. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And right now it all rests on the right foot of Aldrick Rosas. This from 51 yards for the win. It's on target and it's good. From 51 yards out, he drills it. And the Browns are going to win the football game. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Browns, they inch closer to respectability now at 3-6 on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.